Hi, my name is Christine Cunningham and I'm from Kenai, Alaska. I'm grateful to be a finalist for the 2014 Prois Award. When we think about the most serious threats to hunting today, the most critical issue is loss of habitat. There's more people using public lands than ever before, and the government agencies that manage those lands have ideologies that are increasingly counter to what hunting is and what it means. Those government agencies dictate to us how we hunt, where we hunt, and when we hunt. On top of that, another issue facing hunters is loss of hunter participation and recruitment. I think a lot of times we're really good at informing each other, but we need to take it outside the outdoors community. We need to let non-hunters know about what we do for conservation. There's a saying that game managers use: if it's hunted, it's healthy, and every non-hunter should know what that means. Sometimes it's easy to discount somebody who's an anti-hunter, who's angry and aggressive, but I think what we need to do is help those people to understand, because it's unfortunate that they don't understand the realities of the outdoors, and that's something that we as hunters can help them to understand. I think society has changed a lot in the past 50 years. A lot of people think that meat comes from the grocery store. Children don't have a connection to the outdoors. 50 years ago, a lot more children were raised in farming communities and they had a relationship with nature, whereas today kids don't have that relationship with nature automatically. They have a nature deficit disorder, or they just don't have that opportunity to interact with the outdoors that kids had 50 years ago. Experience the outdoors as a hunter has a higher level of responsibility that goes with it than just experiencing it as a wildlife viewer or somebody that's looking at animals. When you're hunting animals, you are engaged in that environment and you become responsible for those animals to be healthy, for those populations to be sustainable. And that's really what the North American conservation model is about. It's about ensuring the future of hunting for hunters. It's also about allowing the citizens of our country to take game. I think that's what a lot of people don't understand about the model. And another time, in another era, in England, for instance, private landowners are the ones that get to take game. And in the United States, you just can be Joe the hunter and go out and get a deer and bring it home to your family. And maybe that's cheaper, it's healthier, and it's a way of life that we want to always have available for our kids. And if we don't continue to inform and continue to embrace hunting as a whole society, as our whole culture, to embrace hunting and say this is the right thing to do, we don't get to continue to have the North American conservation model and the hunting rights that it ensures. For me, I think, and it can be anywhere, it could be the duck flats or the mountains, but there's something about hunting that is just very primal. It's, you get dirty, you get wet, you get cold, you have to overcome those environments. They're real. You're hunting a game animal that you have to know. You have to know what they're about. You have to know how they work. You have to be able to call them in, or be able to find them, or be able to know they're there when they're secreted away. But I just think that you get out there in that environment and it's so real. There's just nothing like being outdoors and being at the whim of something so much bigger than yourself. And I think John Muir said it really well. He said, we go to the mountains to get their good tidings. And I think that's what I'm going out there to get, is I go out to hunt, and I'm so grateful for everything that I get to come back with. Mostly I'm waterfowling and upland hunting, so I'm spending most of my time and money on dogs and shotguns. I spend my money duck hunting on quality waders. That's the biggest item. For upland hunting, it's probably field boots, just because you don't want to be 6 miles in and have to cut it short because of blisters. And I mean, socks matter too, but the field boots are pretty essential. One of the first things I did to recruit women hunters was to share my own story. I didn't think that something as simple as sharing my own story would do that, but it did. Uh, the second most important thing was the Women Hunting Alaska book project. Sharing the stories of women hunters was a powerful tool for recruitment. I also do the volunteer things. We have a Delta Waterfowl Women's Education Day every year where women can come and learn how to duck call and shoot shotgun from different scenarios on the range. We have an AR build coming up, and where you can learn to build your own AR. And then there's also, through the Safari Club International, we have an annual women's pheasant hunt where first shots can learn how to take pheasant over pointing dogs. I've taken opportunities to take women to the mountains for ptarmigan. Ultimate Upland was up here this fall, and we took a group of women into the mountains and hunted with them, and they learned how to hunt behind pointing dogs. There's an interesting statistic in the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Survey about dads who took their kids hunting and about how that increased the likelihood of those children becoming hunters. In households where the mom took the kids hunting, just one day a year, the likelihood of those children becoming hunters just skyrocketed. Men in the hunting arena, they have a stereotype that's out there that they have to overcome to the non-hunting public, but women, for whatever reason, are new, and we're moms and we're sisters and we're daughters, and that's one of the reasons it's so acceptable to the non-hunting community, that women are saying, this is right, we sanction this, this is what we want to be the future, and this is sustainable food for our families, this is healthy, this is natural, this is what hunting's about. And the non-hunting community looks at that and says, yeah, that's what we want, that's the right, that makes sense.